You're just a big, fat panda.
I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda. Skadoosh.
Okay, these people are from Norway.
Hej! Som festa och tura och örsla med pengar för Jussebasse-Jussebasse-Jom. Hej! Finaste ompa, gängen var glad och kurs brotar här på Jussebasse-Jom. Starta karskoppen tom, hej för Jussebasse-Jussebasse-Jom. Hej!
Yay! In Italian, I was salute. Welcome to Big Fat Panda show number 40. I really have to thank those Norwegians. They were wonderful people. They had sang their song, and then I quickly got out the camera and said, no, we have to do that again. And they were all too happy to oblige. Today on the show, we have a wonderful guest who I think I went a little too fanboy on, Mark Silverman. He is the voice of Tower of Terror, specifically Rod Serling on Tower of Terror. He is an amazing voice artist. He does some other things too, you'll see later, but I'm sorry, during the interview I just get starstruck, and as he's doing the spiel from Tower of Terror, I don't think I can handle it. It was really cool to hear him do something that, when you're a Disney fan, these things are just they're amazing to you. Let me thank my exclusive sponsor, David's Vacation Club Rentals at dvcrentals.com. You might have heard me talk about them before. I talk about them a lot. If you have not, please check out dvcrentals.com. You'll be happy you did, and I will tell you a little bit more about them later. Great company. So Christmas is coming. I know Halloween may not have come for you yet, or it may have just passed, or you could be watching this in the year 2020. What do I know? In any event, there's a lot of Christmas stuff coming. Next month's show is going to be chock full of Christmas stuff. November 2nd is the Frozen is coming back. They're redoing the Frozen Holiday Wish where Anna and Elsa light the castle. And then on November 11th, Disney Springs is doing some tree lighting. It's brand new. I really don't know what to expect. It's a tree trail. There's so many things about it. We will have that too. So November 11th, tree lighting at Disney Springs. But on November 14th, it's not replacing the Osborne lights, which we all miss. But the studios is doing something big. They're getting rid of Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular. I'm sure that'll wind up returning after the holidays. And Jingle Bell Jingle Jam is coming. Looks like a major holiday projection, fireworks, music effects show over at the studios on the Chinese Theater. And Santa Claus will be greeting guests on Sunset Boulevard in the Once Upon a Time store. So there's just so much new stuff happening. And then on November 18th, Mickey Mouse's birthday, they'll be giving a special button out at the Magic Kingdom, and there'll be a special Mickey's birthday edition of Move It, Shake It, Bang It, Crack It, Whack-A-Lack It. I can get confused. The little parade that comes in the daytime, that'll be a Mickey-themed one. Also on November 18th, Pizzerizzo, which I've been spelling wrong. I've been spelling it pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A. It's P-I-Z-Z-E Rizzo. Pizzerizzo is opening at the studios. I'm hoping they upgraded the pizza. I just got some shots of the outside. Take a look. Other things that happened this month, the Muppets did invade the Magic Kingdom in a great way. Over by the Liberty Square area, right by the Hall of Presidents, which really does now get a lot of people to go into the Hall of Presidents that might not have, is Great Moments in American History, but only the American parts, with the Muppets. Take a peek at the show. It's a great show. I love it.
Revolting!
We are revolting!
And say that again. We are revolting! Sorry.
Great moments in history, the 4th day of July. Great moments in history, we said King George goodbye. And here's what you will take away in all your minds and hearts. Great moments in history, great moments in history, great moments in history. Great moments in history, with just the American hearts.
Right now, there are 2 different shows. Each one is great and worth watching. You can watch all of them on BigFatPanda.com in their entirety. And also, we had the last electrical parade here in the Magic Kingdom. But you know what? I'm not buying it. They've done it to me before. They've actually sold me lights from the last electrical parade, I don't know, 10 years ago when it left. I bought the light. So how is it still working if I have the lights and other people have them? Yeah, not so stupid, am I? So they can't keep doing this to me. I'm not buying it anymore. Bring back Spectro Magic, which we actually did. My friends watched that. We wanted Spectro Magic back.
Magic! Bring back Spectro Magic! Bring back Spectro Magic! Bring back Spectro Magic!
And the video, yes, it's up on the website, had a lot of character interaction. I always love seeing the fairy godmother. I'm sorry, I yell to her and I throw her kisses, and 99% of the time she knows me, and I'm sure she looks down and is like, this guy, again with him? But I get my kisses.
I love you! So much! So much! I really do.
So there are some changes going on in Tomorrowland, not announced. I just walk into the Magic Kingdom one day, and the rock that I love, it's usually brown and organic looking, it's blue. And the first time I saw it, I did not like it. Then I'm looking at it again, because it now got some more iridescent colors put in, and now it's like purple and blue and silver. So I'm starting to like it now. What do you think of it? Now, admittedly, this wasn't a very busy month for major things going on. There's little things going on that I caught. I went into the queue of the Great Movie Ride, and the Ark of the Covenant, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the real Ark that they used in the movie, not the one that's on the ride. Because you know there's one on the ride. But in the movie, they used a movie prop, and I have to tell you, it really looks good. It's not like, oh, it's made of cardboard. It looks like this golden, ornate, decorative Ark. Take a peek. So seeing that made me go to see the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, and I had to film the end of that. Just, I don't know, here it is, just to give you something else. Here's an explosion. You want an explosion? Here's an explosion for you. And Food and Wine is still going on, and there is one item that really had my name on it, and it was the loaded mac and cheese. I'm a mac and cheese connoisseur. I mean, how do you get all this? I mean, it's It's mac and cheese built. It's a delicious mac and cheese, and I don't know, my friends weren't that impressed. I really was impressed. This was Corinne and Kate who tasted it with me. I was more impressed than them. Maybe I was more hungry, but take a look at the loaded mac and cheese. This is at the Farmers Fresh Market or Farm Fresh Produce booth. It's right when you go from Future World into World Showcase, the entrance.
We go get some moose at that. What is going on?
Yo, pull one of your hairs, Brad.
Okay, dig in. Kate. Corinne.
Okay, let's see how this tastes. Yeah.
And be honest, completely honest.
Tastes like mac and cheese.
Okay, nothing fantastic.
It's good.
I like the crumb topping. It's got a little bit of a kick. The bacon is a nice touch. You can tell it's like apple when smoked.
Ooh, okay, hold on.
I like it.
Can somebody put this in their hand? Okay, now
recording?
I've heard so much about it that it has to be like fantastic. And I'm a pretty good. Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got a little kick.
No, but hot.
Yeah, it's got some heat.
It's got an adult cheesy taste, not like a crab. Oh yeah, I'm like it.
Are you gonna eat it all?
No, we're all gonna eat it all. And now let's sprinkle a little bit of Christmas pixie dust and do another episode of Mouse-A-Holics merchandise with Corinne Andersson.
So if you didn't know, the Magic Kingdom celebrated its 45th anniversary on October 1st, and if you missed it, you're in luck because there's still plenty of 45th anniversary merchandise left, and this is my favorite piece of all the merchandise. This is a light-up lanyard. It features the 45th anniversary print, but it lights up. That's the coolest thing. Let me show you guys. So see, here it's off. Then party time when you turn it on at night. So yes, we may have just finished with Halloween, but we're right on top of the next holiday season, which is Christmas, my favorite. I can't wait. A whole new ornament collection has already been released, and these are unique, guys, because look, it's basically the costumes of the Disney characters. So each little character has their costume on a cute little Mickey hanger. These are just precious, and there's princesses, villains, Mickey Minnie, Mary Poppins, all the fun stuff. And they're just, let's see, they're $22.99, which is not bad. And annual pass holders, you now get a 20% discount. So to go together with your new Disney Christmas ornaments, you need a Disney Christmas stocking. And this one is new for this year, a Disney Princess one. It has tons of Disney princesses. So if that's what you like, which I do, this is a gorgeous one. But as you can see, there's tons of different ones. Frozen, Toy Story, Winnie the Pooh. I'm sure you can find the perfect Christmas stocking to fit your family and all your gifts. So I hope you enjoyed all my favorite merchandise picks for this month. We're going to have even more Christmas in the upcoming months, of course. And if you want to see even more Disney merchandise, please visit Disney Lifestylers on Instagram and come back next month. Bye-bye.
And before we move on to the guest Mark Silverman, let me mention again David's Vacation Club Rentals at dvcrentals.com. I have a YouTube channel with them. Well, it's their YouTube channel, but I do a lot of the videos for the YouTube channel. And I just did another video for the Polynesian quiet pool. Sometimes you don't want all the people jumping around and, you know, the kids on the slides and stuff. You want to be more quiet. Quiet pool is great, and now there is a grill and bar there, and there's some just take a look. The pool is really beautiful. As a standalone pool, that would be great anywhere, but this is a secondary pool to the Polynesian, so it just keeps getting better. That's my favorite hotel, the Polynesian. So anyhow, to see these videos, go to David's Vacation Club Rentals YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/dvcrentals. Same thing like their website, dvcrentals.com, youtube.com/dvcrentals. Their Facebook to get live video and watch us all, what we're doing. We do a lot of live videos lately there. That is youtube.com, no, Facebook.com/dvcrentals. DVC Rentals to get to their Facebook. So do that and follow along with what we're doing. I really appreciate it. Check out dvcrentals.com. And before I forget, the prize for this month is still going to be a Panda shirt. There is a man's prize and a woman's prize. We'll give 2 of those. In order to be in the running for the prize, just thumbs up this video. Make sure you're subscribed to bigfatpanda.com and put any comment here. I've joked around and said to put a letter and stuff, and people have done that. I'm going to try to calm that down now, and I'll do it again in months from now because I keep getting letters and stuff. So it really does work. I say put the letter Z. People who go into the video must think people are sleeping watching this video. I hope you're not saying, wake up if you're sleeping, please. So just put any comment that you want here. Also, I'm going to try to get some extra cards from the Christmas party if I can, if I go a couple of times, and give those away soon. The card for this year, the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom card, is a goofy card. And I'll put it up behind me. I think it's Party Fiasco or something. I forgot the name of it, but it looks really cool. I try to collect all of them too, and for Halloween I try to get them as well. And now let's get to a great, talented voice actor, the voice of Tower of Terror, Mark Silverman. And it has happened. I have Mark Silverman here on the show. I'm very excited. Probably more excited than you know, because I'm trying to keep the fan thing down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's great being here, let me tell you.
So you get to charge your phone.
I did. If you saw my phone, you just wouldn't believe it.
This is today we're having a hurricane, so I actually went to the All-Star to pick up Mark, and he's staying at the Grand Floridian. He just went to the All-Star, so I don't catch on to pick him up. And they told you that
they locked us in our rooms and said there was such a disaster coming that we all had to get in the food court and get a chicken sandwich in a bag and go back to our rooms and barricade ourselves in the rooms and not come out for the giant disaster storm, and nothing really happened.
Well, we did get, I think it was 10-mile-per-hour winds.
We did. In Orlando in the All-Star, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the news and I thought it was the last day of the world, It was pretty scary.
They definitely erred on the side of caution, we should say. But the thing is, if they didn't do it, and then something happened,
right,
everybody complains. So we better be safe. And he doesn't have to go to a park today, so I have you. I can keep you for 6 hours and not really care.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
For those of you that may not know Mark Silverman, welcome back from under the rock you've been under. But he is the voice of Rod Serling in our Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Stormy night long ago, 5 people stepped through the door of an elevator and had a nightmare. That door is opening once again. This time, it's opening for you.
I know you've probably been asked this a million times, but I heard something about the audition process where at some point Mr. Serling's wife gave her seal of approval. Tell me about this as though you've never told anyone before.
That is true. Well, I'll tell you about the whole
Please.
process. Okay?
I love it. Please.
I became a voice actor in the 80s, and I started getting a lot of work revoicing celebrities, whether it was Al Pacino or Stallone or whatever. So I already knew how to do that.
You can't say this without giving me a drop of Al Pacino or Stallone. Just one.
Well, Sylvester Stallone's like, hey, yo, how you doing? Just made Rocky Balboa, I can't see nothing that open my eye.
There's a real subtlety to doing that. And Al Pacino was,
yeah, how you doing there? Hey, if I ever hear from you again, you die. Just like that, So there was a time where Al Pacino was in a movie
called Carlito's Way. And Carlito's Way, very rough movie from the director of Scarface. And Pacino cusses and uses the F word probably 5 times a scene, So at that time in the early 90s, they wanted to show this on television. They don't do that kind of thing as much on regular TV because everybody has cable and Netflix or whatever you're doing, DVDs. But then they wanted to show this on network TV, but they can't show it with all the curse words. So usually Al Pacino comes in and revoices himself and changes the bad words to more family appropriate words, But the one time they couldn't get him back, I had to go in and fill in for Al Pacino. So you put you in a room and you watch the movie and you time yourself exactly. They give you little beeps and you know when to start talking. So in other words, if Al Pacino says in the movie,
What the blank is happening to you?
I will change it to,
What the heck is happening to you?
so if you ever see Carlito's Way on TV and there's no cussing, that's my,
Well, I've seen it done with really bad
Yeah.
voice or acting where it's, what the, hey, how are you doing? And it's like, what happened to those? Or sometimes they just blank.
Yeah.
It just goes.
they'll make it blank, silent.
I like it much better the way.
Right. If you notice it, it's not done well. If I've done my job, nobody knows I did anything. That's the key to doing that.
Now, did somebody see you from that for the Rod Serling, or this is...
No, but I had a real talent and ability for mimicking things. So in 1993, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and he says, my agent says they need a Rod Serling voice for a new Disney ride. And that made absolutely no sense to me in 1993 because I said, why would there be a Twilight Zone ride in Disney? I couldn't figure it out. That's before I knew what the Disney MGM Studios was about. So I went into this agent's office in Beverly Hills and read a few paragraphs, and that was it. I never thought twice about it because that the voice business in Los Angeles is so competitive. Usually you just do the audition and you never hear about it again, But 2 weeks later, I got a message on my answer machine. Hi, Mark. Remember that Rod Serling thing you came in on? It didn't die, and they want you back at Walt Disney Imagineering for a second audition. I still have that tape. But what you don't know is I was a huge Disney fan, so just going to Imagineering was my main excitement.
Were you the only person called back, or there were others too?
No, there was like at least 20 people at this time.
Okay, see, I would have thought they said...
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay.
no. There was another audition, and every time I would do the audition, there was this great casting woman that really knew what a big deal this was to me. And she would call me and say, Mark, they really like you, and now there's only 8 people in the audition, and it's down to 8, but you're right in the top. And I'd say, wow. So then there was another audition, and now it was down to 4 people. And then there was one last audition where it was just between me and another guy. And I had to go into a big sound stage at Imagineering in Glendale, go through the dialogue, and I got it. They came out and told me I got it. And it was unbelievably exciting for me because
At that point, did you know anything more about the project
No.
and what it was? Okay.
I knew nothing. But all I knew was I was going to be the voice of a new Disney ride. I ran out to my car, parked in front of Imagineering at 1401 Flower Street, and it was like my gonna fly now moment. I mean, it was absolutely incredible.
That's awesome.
And if you know my past, you'll understand why that was such a big deal.
Tell me.
To say I was a Disney nut doesn't even address it. In the 70s, when I was a teenager, I would bring into Disneyland a little tape recorder, about the size of my hand, this tape recorder, with cassettes in it. Now, the young listening audience or viewing audience probably never even seen a cassette. The little things about that big. And I would tape all the rides at Disneyland, and I would put them in boxes. Haunted Mansion, Pirates, whatever safety spiel. Anything that came out of a speaker in Disneyland, I had it on cassette.
Step out to your left, please.
Yeah, that, everything. I had, Pirates of the Caribbean. I knew the whole spiel of the Talking Skull. There'll be squalls ahead, and Davy Jones waiting for them. What don't obey? And there was another line, which isn't in the ride anymore.
Perhaps you knows too much. You've seen the cursed treasure. You know where it be hidden. Now proceed at your own risk. These be the last friendly words you hear. You may not survive to pass this way again. Dead men tell no tale.
And I would just practice these voices, and nobody knew why. And I didn't really know why. I was just a weird kid that was obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean.
You even have a really good talk. I could tell you do voice. When I just hear you, you got that. Remember, I knew that you did the Get Smart thing.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to get off too much because I'm going to ask you to do too many things. getting back to the Twilight Zone, when did you find out it had something to do with Rod Serling's wife, where she had heard? Did they give her an opportunity to help pick?
Yes, yeah. They told me when I got it that Rod Serling's widow was one of the people that made the final decision.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was especially amazing to me because I was a Rod Serling and Twilight Zone nut.
Did she want to go out to dinner with you that night?
Yeah, she might. I thought she wanted me to like read on the phone to her or something, you know. She was unbelievably nice because I met her a few times at the grand opening. Yeah, she was great.
Now, she probably didn't even see you while you were doing it.
No.
Sometimes, because I know when you do something and I turn around, I'm like, I'm just in shock. When he did
you know, there's that old story of when they were casting Bambi, Walt Disney was behind a screen and didn't even look at the kids.
Oh, that's right.
That were doing like Thumper. So then he would come out and not be, you know, the look of the kid wouldn't have anything to do with it.
Okay, so when did you know this is a big ride, this is an expensive e-ticket attraction?
You know, even when I went in to record, I still didn't have any idea. I really didn't.
Did you know these people are dropping or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
But I didn't picture, there was no way to know from what they showed me the magnitude of this thing. I think it was at the Christmas parade, the Disney Christmas parade that they televised. I recorded something where Regis went on some kind of a little mock-up of the ride. And when I saw that, I said, this thing's going to be big. And that's all I thought about. But it wasn't until the grand opening, when I saw the attraction finally, that I realized this is as big as a Disney e-ticket gets.
Absolutely.
And I was just mesmerized.
Can you give me a drop? I'm not going to look, of the ride.
All right.
You've just passed whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm like a kid in a candy shop,
All right.
and I'm not going to have him back. He lives in California,
All right.
so...
I'll do the old radio thing with my hand behind the ear. One stormy night long ago, 5 people stepped through the door of an elevator and into a nightmare. That door is opening once again, but this time it's opening for you. You are about to discover what lies beyond the 5th dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest corner of the imagination, in the Tower of Terror.
I'm sorry, I'm like... The people watching it are like, John is in his glory right now.
You know,
I love that.
What's funny, I tell this to a few people in a few interviews, but I do that in a public elevator sometimes.
I've heard you say
Everybody gets in, women with little kids and businessmen, and the elevator doors close, and I'm in the back.
You are about to discover what lies beyond the 5th dimension. You are the passengers in a most uncommon elevator, about to ascend into your very own episode of The Twilight Zone. And it's pretty weird.
How many people know immediately? Or do they think you're just doing a really good impression of the guy that does it?
They think I'm doing a great impression of the guy that does the great impression of Rod Serling. But sometimes people have applauded. And, you know, I've had people that say that, you know, they're on their way to a business meeting or some stressful thing, and it like gives them a little taste of Disney.
Yes.
Just in there, and they didn't even expect it, you know.
Have you ever done it on the ride a little bit with your own voice?
You know, I want the ride, like the audio to once shut off when I was in the Florida attraction here.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't do it. I should have done it. I mean, that would be great.
No, you with a flashlight in the corner, the audio goes off, and then you turn it on and start talking. Freak out.
They should do that for a special Halloween gag.
They should. That'd be amazing.
I know that. That would be great. I'd actually love to be there with a microphone and like they'd get the names of the people.
Mr. and Mrs. Jameson from Kentucky are about to enter the Twilight Zone, and they're looking at what? How did
3
that
people
happen?
would come off dead.
Yeah, right,
That's
right.
amazing. Oh, I love it. Did you have to record like for a long time? Did you get it right almost immediately what they wanted? I mean, I know they have to do their job and say, okay, can you do it again this way? Can you do it again this way? How long did it take? Was it a one day?
Well, I'll tell you. I got there at 10:30, I remember, and it took about 3 hours. And they brought me into the commissary, and I had great mashed potatoes in that.
You remember the mashed potatoes?
I do, yeah. Everything. I remembered everything. But what happened was, after I recorded it in 1993, about 4 months later, there was some kind of big promo that I recorded for the press as Rod Serling. And the Imagineers called me and said, we think after this 4 or 5 months it's been that you're so much better than you were when we first got you. So we want you to record the whole thing again. So I said, yeah, fine. So about a week before I was going to go in to record again, I got this terrible cold. And I just didn't sound, I sounded like, it would have been like Al Pacino going, "You are about to discover what's in the twilight." Nobody, I knew it wasn't going to work. And I called the casting lady and said, "I just don't sound good." And she said, "Come on, we already have the room reserved to record." So I went down there, I read one line, and they sent me home.
They knew the cold was not. Okay, so did they ever re-record it?
Yes. About 4 months later, I went in, and that's the recording you hear.
How amazing that you were good enough to get the part, but then they actually heard that you were better.
Right.
That's amazing.
I had the subtleties down. Because
well, that's what I find with all your stuff. I'm not
Thank
just,
you. No, I understand what you're saying.
I find all subtleties, and that's what makes it polished.
Because there's a real trick to it. Whereas a lot of comedians do a lot of Rod Serling, and they're always like this. "You're about to enter the Twilight Zone," and they're talking like this. And I knew that's not what they wanted.
That's exactly what I would do.
They want like a very realistic approach to to make the attraction sound like it's an actual episode of the Twilight Zone.
The nuances are much more subdued,
right?
Where everybody wants to accentuate them to get.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to sound like you're doing an impression.
Exactly.
You want it to just sound like you're actually speaking. And if you watch, there's so many great Rod Serling interviews on YouTube that you can watch and just see him speak like a regular person. So I love doing that, and that's the challenge to it. And the episode it was taken from was called "It's a Good Life." And he's in front of a big map of the United States.
Okay.
And he says, "This, as you may recognize, is a map of the United States. And there's a little town called Peaksville." So we went, "This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator," right?
Here's another thing I don't know. I'm sure you know this, but I'd be shocked if he didn't. In the ride, when you first get on, there's lightning going on the TV screen. And there's a window.
Right.
No lightning.
Right.
But when you say, or when Rod Serling says, "The time is now," the lightning syncs up with the TV. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Well, one of the brilliant things, yes. And did you ever notice that there's I don't know if this is still in the attraction, but there was an eyeball in the fifth dimension where you can see yourself in it.
Yes.
Is that still in
Still
there?
there. When the camera works.
Yeah.
You see the whole car of people going through the.
I always wonder. It's such a subtle thing if people know that.
A lot of people do not notice. They're so scared at that point because
Yeah.
you're coming forward and it's, freaking you out. They
Right.
don't even notice that.
Right.
The other thing I love that you did was on the extras of whoever you got Zootopia. Come on, somebody bought Zootopia. On the extras, there is an Easter egg type of a reveal from the Zootopia Police Department, and it sounds like a detective.
"It's an old hard-nosed detective uncovering Easter eggs in Zootopia." Yes.
You got to watch. It's about 3 minutes of some of the best voice. It's
Thank
great.
you.
It's
I
fantastic.
kind of based that on Charlton Heston a little bit and just went into it, and they all liked it. It works really well. I like to just use this voice sometimes when I'm shopping at Target. "You in the red blouse. I'm looking for batteries and applesauce. I'd like to purchase these two things, and I'd like you to direct me towards that aisle so I can make this purchase."
Do they do it? Or do they
Yeah,
look at
sure,
you?
you know.
They don't even look at you funny. Now,
yeah.
for something like that for Disney, do they even have to audition you, or can they just call you in?
No, they just called me for that.
Oh, okay, good.
Sometimes they know if you can do one thing, you can do something else.
You did not do This Here's the Wildest Ride in the Wilderness, did you, for the Thunder Mountain?
No, but why did someone? Did
No,
they get
I could
somebody
hear.
else
I
to?
could just hear that would be your type too.
Oh, I would have loved to.
This here's the wildest ride in the
Right.
wilderness.
Hang on to your hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
There's some things I could just hear that you could definitely do.
Right. Yeah, I always want to know who did the Maelstrom.
"You are not the first who passed this way, nor shall you be the last."
I never. That guy never did an interview anywhere. Every time I would go on that, I say, "Who is that?"
That could have been you too. Yeah.
I would have
could
loved
see
to
you.
have done that.
My cheeks hurt from having so much.
Well,
fun.
that's great. I love that. I love that because I love the whole Disney thing so much, and all the people out there watching, I'm sure, feel that, and it makes it even better, right?
They do. They're gonna. We're keeping the one, hopefully in Florida. If anything happens, the fans will gather around it and not let it go anywhere.
Yeah, do that.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome there.
And there you have it, show number 40. I can't thank my guest enough, Mark Silverman, for being on the show. Especially, it was the day of the hurricane here in Florida. Glad it was not worse. That was a lot of fun. Tune in next month. Next month's show is going to be chock full of Christmas. If I look at my schedule next month, I actually get nervous. I almost think there's too much to do. There's not enough time to get it done. I know it'll all get done, but it just looks daunting. It's every day something's going on, something new, something Christmas. So next month's show is sure to be probably a longer show, I would think. We will have another special guest. Again, I remind you, if you, a loved one, a family member, a friend, are thinking of even going to Disney World, or maybe you're thinking you can't afford it, check out dvcrentals.com. It's dvcrentals.com. What they do is they take people's points from DVC who are not using them and they rent them. So you're basically renting someone's points and you're getting a much better accommodation for a lot lower of a cost because you're not going through Disney Central reservations. You're basically renting someone's points and it gives you a great savings and all the benefits of being, the Disney guest at the resort. It's not like you are treated any differently. So there is a price calculator on their site that tells you exactly what the cost is. There's no other hidden fees. The price that you see there when you pick your dates and your resort that you want, that's the price that you pay. No questions, no other fees or anything. I've used it myself, of course, because I know them. And it was really just painless. You walked in, you checked in under your name. It was a great thing. Check out dvcrentals.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. In confidence, I will tell you off the show. So many people have thanked me for introducing them. So go forth, create pandemonium, and above all, keep giving out those panda hugs. They mean a lot more than you might think. People love getting a hug. And the fans have been so warm to me when they see me in the park. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you. Have a wonderful time, and Christmas is coming. I'll see you next month. Until then, Panda out.